San Francisco, 1851. The city that ate its own. San Francisco was not built. It was taken. Taken by fog, by fire, by greed, and by men who believed the city owed them everything. In 1851, it stood at the edge of the world, a wooden sprawl clinging to the bay, where fortunes were born in a day and buried by nightfall. Every morning the fog rolled in like a witness refusing to speak. Every night gas lamps flickered as if even the light was afraid to stay too long. This was the gold rush, but gold was only the bait. San Francisco hunted something else. A man who did not come for gold. Elias Crow arrived on a rusted ship just before dawn. He did not rush toward the hills like the others. He did not shout, celebrate, or pray. He stepped onto the dock slowly, as if the city itself were watching him. He wore a dark coat, carried no tools, and kept one hand in his pocket, resting on a pocket watch that no longer worked. It had belonged to his father. Elias had not come to San Francisco to get rich. He had come to finish something. A city without mercy. San Francisco in the early 1850s had rules but no law. Judges were bribed, police were outnumbered, and criminals walked openly in daylight. When justice failed, the city created something worse. The vigilance committees, groups of respectable citizens who took justice into their own hands. They arrested suspects, held secret trials, and hanged men without appeal. Sometimes the guilty died, sometimes the innocent did. But fear kept the streets quiet, and that was enough. In San Francisco, survival depended on knowing when to speak and when to disappear. The woman who vanished. Elias asked the same question everywhere he went. Have you seen Clara Whitmore? Most people shook their heads. Some pretended not to hear. A few looked away too quickly. According to city records, Clara Whitmore was a school teacher who had arrived 6 months earlier. 3 months after that, she vanished. No witnesses, no body, no grave. But Elias knew Clara was more than a teacher. She had been his father's secret, and secrets did not survive long in San Francisco. The language of saloons. Elias spent his nights in saloons where the air was thick with smoke and desperation. Men drank until they forgot who they had been before the city found them. Some struck gold, most struck rock, a few struck deals with the devil. In a saloon called the Broken Anchor, an old sailor leaned across the table and whispered, "This city doesn't kill people, it changes them." His eyes locked onto Elias, and the ones who don't change disappear. Elias slid a coin across the table. I'm looking for someone who disappeared.
The sailor didn't take the coin. Then stop looking, he said. San Francisco hates being remembered. The Barbary Coast. The trail led Elias to the Barbary Coast, where music drowned out screams and laughter hid violence. Women vanished there. Men vanished faster. In a narrow alley behind a gambling house, Elias saw something half buried in the mud. A thin silver chain. He knelt and lifted it carefully. It matched the chain from his father's pocket watch. His pulse slowed. San Francisco had not erased Clara. It had claimed her. The night he was taken. Elias never heard them approach. Hands seized him, a sack covered his head, rope cut into his wrists. When the sack was removed, he stood inside a large wooden hole. Candles lined the walls. Well-dressed men sat in rows, silent and watchful. The Vigilance Committee. Their leader stood. "You've been asking questions," he said calmly. "That's dangerous." Elias met his eyes. "So is silence." A folder was opened. Papers rustled. "Your name," the leader said slowly, "is not Elias Crow." The room went quiet. "You are Elias Whitmore." The father's sin. Jonathan Whitmore had been a respected judge back east. He had also been corrupt. Years earlier, he had protected a network of gold smugglers responsible for murder and theft. One woman had discovered the truth: Clara Whitmore. She was not related by blood. She had been a witness, a liability. Jonathan Whitmore sent her to San Francisco, believing distance would protect him. Instead, it destroyed them both. The truth that broke the room. The committee leader leaned closer. "You know," he said, "that Clara Whitmore did not die." Elias felt his breath stop. She became something else. The doors behind the committee opened. Footsteps echoed. A woman entered the hall. Her hair was gray now. Her face carried the weight of years lived in shadows. But her eyes, they were unmistakable. Clara. She looked at Elias and smiled softly. "You shouldn't have come," she said. What Clara became. Clara spoke calmly, without fear. She had learned quickly that San Francisco respected only one thing: control. She joined the Vigilance Committee not as a victim, but as an architect. She identified criminals the courts protected. She turned gangs against one another. She allowed fear to do what law could not. "I didn't save this city," she said. "I contained it." She had become the darkness that kept worse darkness away. The choice. Clara faced Elias. "You can leave," she said. "Forget this place." Elias removed his father's broken pocket watch and held it up. "My father believed silence was safety." He dropped it and crushed it underfoot. "I will not forget, and I will not hide." For the first time, Clara looked uncertain. Then she stepped aside. The city watches again. That night, fog swallowed the streets. Somewhere, a criminal ran and stopped. Somewhere else, a corrupt man reconsidered his next move. San Francisco listened, and it learned a new name: Elias Whitmore. Not a hero, not a villain, but a reminder that cities, like people, must one day answer for what they become.